religion is vibrant and the rule of law under God is acknowledged.
An informed patriot is what we want.
Welcome to Focal Point, the home of muscular Christianity on Conservative Talk Radio. Muscular Christianity, where we relentlessly explore the intersection of truth and politics.
The trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so.
Now, here's your host, Brian Fisher.
Hi, and welcome back to this Monday edition of Focal Point on AFR Talk. Brian Fisher is my name. Great to have you in the conversation. This is Focal Point, the home of muscular Christianity on Conservative Talk Radio. As we start this second hour, let's grab a phone call from Catherine in Wallace, North Carolina. Catherine, I want to thank you for calling. I want to thank you for waiting. What's on your mind?
Oh, yes, Brian. Well, in answer to your question, what should our response be? Well, to begin with, you have to be prepared to make a response, and we are not. We are like the Titanic, and instead of singing Amazing Grace on the bow of the ship, our pastors are having a gay pride parade while carrying infant babies on the tip of spears. And you ask me, what should we do? Well, I think we should at least change the hymn selection to Rise Up, O Men of God. What do you think we ought to sing as we go down?
Well, that's pretty good, Catherine. I appreciate that. And, you know, I think what we ought to do is what we need a president who will do what FDR did in World War II. Remember, we played that soundbite where Winston Churchill and FDR met on a battleship in the North Atlantic during the height of World War II. And Winston Churchill, it was a British battleship, he arranged a worship service. First thing they did when FDR and Winston Churchill met on that battleship in the North Atlantic was to have a worship service. And one of the songs that they all sang, including FDR, including Winston Churchill, is Onward, Christian Soldiers. Now, I don't think there's any way in the world you're ever going to see Barack Obama standing on a battleship singing Onward, Christian Soldiers, but that is what we need. All right, Catherine, listen, I appreciate the call. Now, I want to shift gears just a little bit. If we can grab clip number one, Lene. I didn't watch the Oscars last night. I find it, frankly, boring. I've never seen any of the movies that are nominated, so it's just kind of a waste of time for me. So I haven't watched the Oscars, any part of the Oscars in years. But Matthew McConaughey is an actor that I've seen in a number of good movies. He was in a movie called Sahara, which is a pretty good action type. He's been in some romantic comedies and stuff like that. Anyway, he won the Best Oscar Award, acting award last night. And I was struck by what he said in his acceptance speech. This is not something that you typically hear at the Oscars. And listen to the tepid response from the Hollywood audience when he says what he says. Let's listen.
First off, I want to thank God, because that's who I look up to. He's graced my life with opportunities that I know are not of my hand or any other human hand. He has shown me that it's a scientific fact that gratitude reciprocates. In the words of the late Charlie Lawton, who said, when you got God, you got a friend.
So that's Matthew McConaughey giving thanks to God. First thing he did was give thanks to God for the opportunities that God had provided for him. Second thing he did is talked about how much his wife and his children mean to him, that they're the most important people in the world to him, that the only thing that matters to him is making them proud of him. And then the third thing he talked about was making himself a better man in the decade to come. Now, another Oscar Award winner, guy by the name of Jared Leto, he won the award for playing a transgender figure in his movie, The Dallas Buyers Club, which I have not seen. And he was criticized by the transgender community because they felt that the role should have gone to somebody who was a genuine transgendered individual instead of a male like Jared Leto playing the part of a transgendered individual. But anyway, Jared Leto also wins an Academy Award. He wins an Oscar. And listen to who he thanks right off the bat.
In 1971, Bossier City, Louisiana, there was a teenage girl who was pregnant with her second child. She was a high school dropout and a single mom. But somehow she managed to make a better life for herself and her children. She encouraged her kids to be creative, to work hard, and to do something special. That girl is my mother, and she's here tonight. And I just want to say, I love you, Mom. Thank you for teaching me to dream.
You know, and beyond that, thank you for giving me life. I think part of what's going on there with Jared Leto is he realized how close he came to being a victim of the abortion holocaust. I mean, his mother was a perfect candidate for an abortion. She was single. She was in her teen years. She already had one child. I mean, you talk about somebody who was a perfect candidate to abort, terminate this pregnancy, and his life with it. So he realizes he's a survivor of the abortion holocaust and is grateful to his mother, his teen mom, for giving him life. Now, Hollywood actors, I mean, they entertain and all that. But the point here's somebody very artistic, somebody very creative, somebody who's very skilled in a particular craft, is Jared Leto. And you wonder, and he barely made it to his first birthday because of the availability of abortion. You know, and you wonder, he easily could have been aborted, and so his talent would be missing from the stage. I mean, not when we're talking about Hollywood actor, that would be a huge loss. But I'm just saying, obviously, he's very good at what he does. He's very talented, and that talent would be absent. It would be missing. He would not be there to contribute his skill in the field of the arts. And so you wonder, well, how many medical doctors potential medical doctors may have never seen their first birthday or drawn their first breath, or inventors or engineers or great statesmen or great military leaders whose talent and ability is forever lost to civilization because of abortion. So good for Jared Leto's mom. Now, dropping down to the abortionists, let's grab clip number 8. This is Bill Owens, who is the president of the the Coalition of African American Pastors. And he gets right after President Obama. He's a black now. He's a black pastor, so he can go after President Obama. Here's what he had to say about the sanctity of life issue. That's a pretty strong indictment. President Obama is promoting murder by promoting abortion. He has no compassion. He has no heart. He has no feeling for little black children. You know, and the reality is, I've got a story in the stack here about in New York City, more black babies were aborted in the last year, for which figures are available, than were born. In other words, more black babies were aborted than were allowed to be given birth in the city of New York. It's a Holocaust. President Obama, leader of the pack. Back in 2.